seated. Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Daniel, Vice President of Academics of Urban College of Boston. And on behalf of the Urban College of Boston and the faculty, I thank you for attending this glorious event. It's my honor to officially open the 2017 commencement ceremonies. I ask that you turn off your cell phones and pagers so that they do not disturb this afternoon's celebration. At this time, Rebecca Davila, UCB class of 2001, will deliver the invocation.
Good afternoon, students. We can bow our heads. Loving God, we come to you on this joyous day as the graduates prepare to walk across the stage to receive their diplomas. In prayerful gratitude for the many blessings that have made this moment real and filled with great potential. In gratitude, we pray for the families and the many who have sacrificed and worked to see this hopeful moment. In gratitude, we pray for the professors and administrators who have challenged, cared, and crafted them along the academic journey. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Davila. We will now have the national anthem sung by Carmen Zayas, faculty member, and accompanied by Peter Freisinger. Please rise.
Good afternoon. We'll try that again. Good afternoon. There we go. My name is Michael Taylor, and I have the privilege of serving as president of the Urban College, and I have for the last 4.5 years. I would first like to acknowledge the person who preceded me, and that was Nancy Daniel, for her devotion to the students as well as the devotion to this college and for arranging this very special day. Nancy? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2017, that sounds good, doesn't it? I first met many of you at the Learning Center, student forums, at our 10-year accreditation process. You were both excited and you were a bit apprehensive because you knew that in a few short months you'd be leaving this safe and supportive community in search of new opportunities. Well, here we are. For many of you, your time at Urban College is about to close. However, in addition to acquiring an education during your time here, you've acquired something else, a new family, comprised of your Urban College classmates, teachers, and staff. So as you march out of this beautiful theater today, understand that these important and supportive relationships will always, always be there for you. And speaking of this beautiful theater, it is 114 years old. It was meticulously restored by Emerson College over a several-year period. Emerson raised close to $15 million to bring it back to its original grandeur. So let's take a second here and look up and admire this magnificent structure. Just look at this magnificent facility that you're sitting in right now. I'd like to express our gratitude to Emerson College's president, Lee Pelton, for graciously hosting us here today. There have been thousands, probably tens of thousands of performances on this stage since 1903, but none more important than the one we're about to conduct right now. I'd like to express to you 3 observations that I've made about the class of 2017. They are a joyful, courageous, and determined group. First, I'd like to speak to the joyful spirit of this group. I witnessed this collective sense of delight last Tuesday night at our pre-commencement celebration. At the gathering, there was lots of laughter, tears, cheers, and hugs. But I was most struck by was the outpouring of love and joy that you expressed for the achievements of your fellow classmates. We are gathering today at the same delightful spirit. So continue to laugh, cry, shout, hug, and express joy and love because this is a sacred moment in your life. You've earned and deserve the pride of accomplishment that you feel right now, signified by your presence in this theater dressed in these medieval robes, surrounded by your family and your friends. So have a wonderful time sharing this experience with the people you love and the people who love you. Second, I want to comment on your courage. Let's take a few minutes to recall how you felt the first time you walked off the elevator on the 7th floor of 178 Tremont Street. Think about that for a second. Just right now, think about that. You were confronting doubts about whether you could do college-level work, the anxiety of meeting new people, and questioning whether you could add another responsibility to your already hectic life. Well, there'll be other moments in your life when you'll be confronted with similar anxieties. Can I do this? Will I be able to manage this? When those doubts appear, reach down in your heart and soul and remember the courage that brought you to this graduation celebration today. The third and perhaps the most defining characteristic of this graduating class is your determination. Not only did you have the courage to start your college career, you stuck with it over the course of several years, even when things got very tough. Take a moment and think about how many child care arrangements you had to make, how many rides in the T, particularly during the spring's rain and cold, how many papers you had to write, or presentations you had to make, or how many late nights you spent studying. And unlike most students in the Boston area, you have a few other things to do, like raising a family and managing a full-time job. It took a lot of character to overcome those many sacrifices. Reverend Martin Luther King once said, quote, "Intelligence plus character is the real goal of a true education." Let me repeat that. Intelligence plus character is the real goal of a true education. Well, you have clearly achieved a true education. Your true education experience reached into the future of Urban College by your engagement with our 10-year accreditation process and with the development of our new campus at the China Trade Center. Last week was the 100th birthday celebration of former President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who once said, "Everyone can make a difference, and everyone should try." Well, you've made a remarkable difference in your lives, in the lives of your children, in the lives of the people you care for in your careers. I would only ask you to continue making a difference by providing a little extra encouragement to others who wish to pursue their dream of enrolling in college. Your success will be a dramatically powerful evidence as they consider taking that first step. You mentioned to me that others, many of whom are here today, have been there for you throughout this process. You added that it would not have been possible to complete this journey without their help. Well, today, take a moment to simply say thank you to your supporters, your children, your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your neighbors, your Urban College teachers and staff. In fact, why don't we begin that thank you right now by having the faculty, staff, and your family and other guests remain seated while the graduates please stand and give these dedicated and caring people in your life a round of applause, an expression of your gratitude. Thank you. On behalf of the Urban College of Boston family, thank you for sharing this part of your life with us. Remember, the doors of Urban College are forever open to you, so keep in touch. We'll always be committed to your success. Thank you very much. I'm going to now begin to introduce the people behind me. I'm going to do it from right to left, well, from your left, I guess. And we'll go this way, if you will, and then we'll work ourselves around the rest of the dais. Miki Akamoto, Mr. Peter Ebb, Jeffrey Sanchez, Maria Sanchez, Dr. Connie Counts, Sharon Scott Chandler. Ken Grout, Ms. Marin Tober, Dolores Kelloff, Donna Williams, Carol Hilliard, Bernadette Davidson, Travis Linson, Carmen Zayas, by the way, who did a wonderful job singing the national anthem. Thank you very, very much for doing a beautiful job. She puts her heart and soul into her singing, but she also, as you all know, puts her heart and soul into her teaching. We go on with Sonia Solis, Edward Parinci, Diane Watson-Phillips, Elizabeth Maglio, Krista Zarella, Nora Arara. You've met Mrs. Nancy Daniel, Donna Coard, Miss Allison Matthews, Stephen Lozen, Linda Dumas, Mary Chin, John Drew, Avanti Seymour. Anna Cadero, Phoenix Fung, Mark Beaumont, James Morgan, Everest Onua, Carmen Panetta, Reverend Dalvia. Valva Gabrielle, Marianne Moreno, Ben Chin, Carolyn Bote, Olive Wano, Alvin Hatfield, Adiela Lee Hanton, and Paula Izzo Toronto. I'd like them all to stand and have you give your expression of appreciation to them. Who's up next? Also, I'd like to acknowledge the folks who aren't up here with us this afternoon. They're out there helping out. And they are Louis Dynasong, Dorothy Chavez, Kathy Dwyer, Joshua Carr, and the wonderful volunteers led by Bill Sullivan. Let's give them a round. I would like now to introduce to you the chairman of the board of the Urban College, individual who has been steadfast in his leadership of this organization through the thick and the thin. And there was a period where it was very thin, and he stood strong for us and has throughout that period of time. And I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Peter Ebb.
On behalf of the trustees of the Urban College, welcome. Welcome to the family and friends who have made this journey possible. Welcome to the administrators, staff, and faculty whose talent and dedication are the lifeblood of the college. And welcome to our remarkable graduates whose presence here this afternoon is proof that even in these uncertain times, almost anything is possible. To all of you, welcome and congratulations. I'd like to take just a moment to remember one of our trustees who would have been here today, but who passed away shortly after last year's graduation ceremony. Bard Hamlin was a lifelong educator who dedicated herself to teaching teachers, to expanding opportunities for adult learners, and to the cause of the poor and the disadvantaged. From coordinating local initiatives to desegregate Boston schools in the 1970s and 80s, to founding a group dedicated to improving minority retention rates in higher education, to her active, caring service as a trustee at Urban College, Bard was a force to be reckoned with and represented the very best of what the Urban College has to offer, just as you, our graduates, represent the very best of what individuals can accomplish if they can dream big enough and work hard enough to make their goals a reality. It is now my great pleasure to introduce John Drew, President and CEO of Action for Boston Community Development, the city's largest, most important, and most effective social service agency. For over 30 years, John has been both a local and national leader and a fighter and an advocate in the community action movement, and John loves a good fight. And for the Urban College of Boston, John has been a true hero. Over the years, John has been a trustee, an adjunct professor, and something of a magician, repeatedly finding the financial resources necessary for the college to survive and today to thrive. The Urban College is fortunate indeed to have such a loyal, steadfast, and effective friend, and I am proud and honored to introduce my friend, John Drew.
Actually, it's almost 50 years, but don't forget, we lose 20 here, 20 there. You know, I'm taking a moment to look at you and draw this in. I have remembered the long road it took to get here. I remember when there was a community college in Boston, Middlesex, who left town and went to Wellesley because there was no business for them in Boston. I remember when we started the first legal service program, the first WIC program, first 6 health centers, CDCs. Why? That was our mission, to provide people in the community and the neighborhoods access to institutions that were not there before, so they couldn't get ahead. And a big part of that was education. And because there was a lack of education for late bloomers like me. You're all beautiful, though. You're really beautiful. Is there any guys out there? You're beautiful, too. So we started a program we call College Program, where people came to ABCDE and took classes in our building from Leslie, Bunker Hill, all kinds of colleges. We paid for the courses, but we picked the teachers. And a lot of people from neighborhoods and our own staff were drawn into that and became learners and graduated eventually from another institution. But they wouldn't have got there if they hadn't started with us, because as the president of this college said, and my friend Nancy Daniels remembers all this, when they went to other institutions, they were either not accepted or they had to leave because it was not an environment they could thrive in. Hadn't been to school for a few years. So, in the 1990s, it says in here, we just went from a college program to a college today. Didn't happen like that. Didn't happen that way. Bob Coard led the charge. I was behind him. He's bigger than I am. Wonderful man. His wife is here. Harold Mezoff and a whole cast of characters. We put our shoulders down and we banged the doors down of higher education. To their chagrin, Not that I don't love the world of higher education, I do. But somehow they thought a community organization becomes a college. Doesn't happen. But we kept pounding the door and pounding the door and shaming them best we could. Because we had in mind, I did too, that in 25 years I'd be standing here in front of 90 graduates. They couldn't see that. But Bob could, we could. So yeah, eventually they conceded to us, you are a college. And conceded we could get accreditation. And I tell you the truth, they made life miserable after that for a while, up until a few years ago. Where I think we stepped over the threshold then after a number of graduations, where it was very, very clear, that people without means are very bright. Maybe they couldn't get in the front door of Harvard, if you wanted to anyway. Or maybe they couldn't have got someplace else, they're too busy in life, and sometimes life has said, you're not going to succeed. But we had to turn that around. That's what ABCD was all about and still is. So I'm so happy to be here with this class. You, and the 23 classes before you, back to the first graduation with 4 students, you are the vanguard of what's going to happen in the future and has happened, which is we're going to educate and make opportunity for everybody. And we're going to use institutions like this where people really care, to make it happen. And you are my heroes. You really are. Pass that on to the next behind you and behind you. Nothing can stop you. Nobody should get in your way. Nobody should tell you you can't, because you can do it. You have done it. So I want to thank to my right and to my left. I may not be here forever, but I'm here for a while, 50 years. But every year there's a graduation of the Urban College is another success for this town, for our community, and for you and everybody else and everybody back there. So I say, go Urban. With me, go Urban. Go Urban. Woo!
I didn't realize that John was a cheerleader in college. I would like to introduce to you now Sharon Scott Chandler, who is the Executive Vice President of ABCD, and she's an active trustee of the Urban College and has been for the last 8 years, and she'll present an honorary degree to Mrs. Maria Sanchez.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon and congratulations to all of the graduates. On behalf of the trustees of the Urban College, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Mrs. Maria Sanchez. Mrs. Sanchez's journey to this stage is similar to your own. She was born on a farm in Puerto Rico and migrated to New York City, and then had the good sense to come to Boston. While raising 2 children, she earned a GED and later graduated from Boston State College in 1979 while working full-time. Initially, she worked as a receptionist, became a social worker, and then she advanced to the role of probation officer for the Boston Juvenile Court, where she worked with distinction for 25 years. In the 1970s, while living in public housing, Mrs. Sanchez became a community organizer, helping families improve their living conditions and helping others gain access to affordable housing. To ensure that tenants had a meaningful role in the management of their own communities, Mrs. Sanchez became the first president of the Mission Maine Task Force and worked actively with the appointed receiver to improve the living conditions at Mission Maine throughout the 1980s. It was during this time also that she had a close connection to Action for Boston Community Development as leader on one of our APAC neighborhood boards in Parker Hill, Fenway area, and worked closely with John Drew for many years in those early days to help residents and community members find their voice and utilize their voice for advocating for themselves. Thank you, Mrs. Sanchez. She is the president of the board of the Mission Hill Neighborhood Housing Services. She worked diligently to develop an elderly affordable housing project in Roxbury Crossing, which was named the Maria Sanchez House in her honor. She has worked on numerous political campaigns, including mayoral, gubernatorial, and presidential, focusing on and educating and raising awareness in the community about the importance of registering to vote and exercising that right. Those of us in the anti-poverty movement are all too aware of the importance of voting, particularly at the national level. Mrs. Sanchez is the widow of Luis Sanchez and the mother to Marlene and Jeffrey, who you'll hear about in a minute. She is also the proud grandmother of Luna Isabella and Amina Sachi. It is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to bring forward Mrs. Maria Sanchez.
What else can I say? Good afternoon, President Teo, deans, trustees, faculty, and graduates. My name is Maria Sanchez. I wish there was more time to tell you my experience as a student, but it is a long story, since 1973 to 79. Estaríamos aquí toda la tarde. We will be here all night. But I will tell you that being a student as a mother of two, Marlene and my Jeffrey, a community organizer, political activist, and a wife, now a widow, unfortunately. Studying and working full-time was not an easy job, especially living in the housing project of Mission Hill, which at that time in the 70s and 80s was there long days and nights, and I often wondered what was I getting myself into. But I love it. I love Mission Hill. But I recommend, as I put my children to sleep and see their faces mientras dormían while they're sleeping, that it was all for them and their children's. I wanted them to be proud of me and be their experience that they can do and be anything they wanted to be, y luchar and fight for their future, y luchar por su futuro. And always strive for more, don't give up. Pero another little thing, I was proud of me. Yeah, there were many. There were many times where I thought I could do this. It was just too hard, but I pushed myself because I knew that the education, que la educación, it is the key to open all doors. Yo sabía que la educación, antes y después, y siempre, es la llave que abre todas las oportunidades. It was not only for me, but for my family, my little family. Let your future begin today, ladies and gentlemen. I would drive and passion, always aiming higher than the stars. Ustedes son las próximas líderes del futuro. You will be the future leaders of this country. Siga luchando. Sigan luchando. Keep fighting for your families y su comunidad. Pero importante, no se olviden de sí mismas. Ve, no tengo arruga, ¿viste? You are the rock, the glue, that holds everything together. Continue to do so in your journey con elegancia, with elegance. and integrity. Thank you, President Taylor, Dean, trustees, and faculty for this wonderful honor. Señoras, amigas, me veo en ustedes. No fue fácil, las felicito. Espero que hayan tenido la suerte o tengan la suerte de haber tenido un compañero, un esposo que les dio la energía, la fuerza y la voluntad y el apoyo que ustedes necesitaban y necesitan de ahora en adelante para seguir adelante. Yo estoy muy contenta de que no tengo arrugas por mi esposo, ni por mi Jeffrey, ni por mi Marlene. Van a llegar solitas. All I'm saying is that I feel proud of not only for myself, but I feel very proud of my husband. Hopefully that you guys, ladies and gentlemen, had the support, the friendship, the companion, the person who gave you all the support, who washed the dishes for you at the time that you had to go to school. That was me. Mi Sanchete, my husband, he did that for me. And I said before, I don't have no wrinkles in my face because my husband or my Jeffrey or my Marlene who is around someplace. So thank you. Try not to let anybody get into your way. No deje que nadie se plante en su camino. Tu futuro es tu futuro y tú lo vas a luchar. Tener los niños no significa que se detengan en su camino. Por el contrario, los niños deben dar energías para seguir adelante. Los niños son la fortaleza de ustedes, ¿ok? Y no permitan que nadie se le pare en el camino. Ustedes tienen un deseo de hacer algo, tienen un futuro, lúchenlo. No dejen que nadie se le plante en el camino. Si hay que dar una patada, se da ya.
Well, it's a tough act to follow, huh?
trophy.
I had the privilege of working in public housing in the 70s and 80s, and at that particular time, Maria was a legend, and you understand now why. Maria, it was your work, your dedication, that has improved the lives not only of the people in Mission Hill, but throughout public housing and throughout the state of Massachusetts, if not the country. So thank you. Representative Jeffrey Sanchez represents one of the state's most diverse legislative districts, stretching from Jamaica Plain and Rosendale to Mission Hill and Brookline. It is the home to some of Massachusetts' poorest and wealthiest residents and people of many cultures. It also provides a view into the best and the worst of healthcare. Some of the best hospitals in the world are located in that district, but so are many people who have trouble accessing medical care because of cost or other barriers. I believe it is that contradiction that motivated Representative Sanchez to seek committee assignments that would enable him to address some of these medical access issues. Currently, Representative Sanchez serves on the House as the House Chair of the Joint Committee on Health Care Financing. In fact, one of his earliest leadership roles was the establishment of the Massachusetts Health Care Law, which has become a model for the United States. Representative Sanchez's focus has also been on affordable housing, and you can see why. He wasn't going to be able to knock it off that issue with his mother beside him, that's for sure. And children's services. The beneficiaries of that leadership have been the individuals and families living in the 600 new units of housing in Jamaica Plain's Jackson Square neighborhood. Representative Sanchez was instrumental with the development of the Nursery Early Education Center in the Bromley Heath public housing development. It is a beautiful, beautiful state-of-the-art setting for young children to gather for their early educational experience. This is close to home for Urban College because we conduct early education classes in Spanish at Nursery. Those are just a few of the highlights of his role as a state representative. I've also had the privilege to witness Jeffrey in his role as a supportive neighbor, son of a wonderful mother, husband to his beautiful wife Brenda, and as a father to his loving daughters Luna and Emia. Growing up as a young man, Representative Sanchez had the privilege of watching his mother demonstrate the value of community engagement. I'm confident that it has become a Sanchez family experience, which is passed on to his two children. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to confer an honorary degree in early childhood education to Representative Jeffrey Sanchez.
Felicidades a las graduadas y a los graduados. Ramadan Mubarak. Ni hao. I could go on and on and on. Why? Because Urban College represents Boston and represents the nation. Look at each other. All these beautiful faces. All of you represent the dynamic greatness of what is our city of Boston and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I'm honored to be in front of you today. You couldn't ask me to speak at Harvard and feel the way that I feel right now. You couldn't ask me to stand at the top of any mountain because this mountain is here right now and I'm standing at the top of it because I get to share a stage with my mother, my family, my friends, and all of you. Because all of you are us. Those dreams, those struggles, everything that you folks go through, We've all done it, and we've all gone through it. And to see all of you here today, dressed the way you are, with all of your loving family here around you, this day is a day of remembrance, because the next day is going to lead you to that next mountain that you're going to conquer. Estos momentos hay que agradecerlos, hay que celebrarlos, porque ustedes lo han logrado. Lo han logrado por el amor y como han visto con mi madre, con el coraje de hacer cosas buenas. All of you have arrived with the love, but also the courage to conquer everything that comes your way. And I'm lucky because I've seen that since I was a childhood. When I was a kid, all these buildings around here, and all these streets, and all these flashy lights and buildings and all this, that didn't exist. They were all falling apart. And then when we were down there in Mission Hill and in Roxbury, and in the communities where we lived in, Lower South End, Roxbury, Mission Hill, Jamaica Plain, Dorchester, Mattapan, it was a different time. They were trying to tear down our communities. There was a lot of abandonment. And everybody had to stand up. Those that felt the need to say something really had to stand up, and stand up collectively. Why? The housing project that we were growing up in, although we have these great institutions around us, there were other ideas, and public housing wasn't a part of that. And being in my house, I learned that if you wanted something, you had to fight for it, even as ugly as it was on the outside, but you knew it was beautiful on the inside, and that was these housing projects. And I saw my mother day after day, when she would drop me on, when she would take me to the daycare center, which at the time was Associated Daycare, now it's Nurtury. And she'd drop me in the classroom and then walk to her desk as the receptionist at that daycare center every day. And I remember suffering because I thought that hallway was the longest hallway in the world because it separated me from my mommy. And then, eventually, she graduated, and guess what? She left the building. She left the building, and I remember standing on that cot. I'd stand on the cot out the window, and I'd see her walking out, and I would lose my mind, and poor Mrs. Robel would try and calm me down. And what was she doing? After she graduated, she was working in the community and got herself a job as a social worker. And that social worker job, she essentially was everybody's social worker in the housing project that we grew up in. And our family was there with us, and friends. You know, my cousin Cuca, her husband Ceci, my cousin Ruthie, and their mother Providencia. The Providencia arrived here in the 60s and worked at New Balance sewing shoes, when New Balance was a company that nobody knew about. When my mother was working, Nixa and Ceci fed me multiple times. Arroz con salchicha, fried chicken, all of that. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be as healthy as I am now. They paved the way. But I was lucky. In the building that we lived in, there were multiple mothers that took care of me. And then beyond that, I see friends, Regla Gonzalez, Ramona Sala. Regla Gonzalez, years ago, with my mother, took on the city as well, and challenged mayors and challenged governors, even though they had different opinions, because they came from different places in different areas. But they put some of their stuff aside, porque tú sabes que todos tenemos un poquito de drama, right? Right? We all got a little bit of drama, right? But they were able to do so many great things. And when I left Boston for a little while, and then when I came back, Regla Gonzalez, I had a job lined up to go work in a bank and make a ton of money. And there's Regla Gonzalez and my mother, I don't know if they were scheming because my mother was like, she didn't want me doing anything in government because she experienced it. But Regla was open, she was steadfast in saying, no, just talk to him, he's interested. Imagine, there's an Italian mayor in Boston because I was in California. And that was a big deal. And then when I met the mayor, his name, I know all of you know, Tom Menino, he's talked about one thing, and it was Mission Maine, the project that I grew up in. We are going to rebuild that housing project. We are going to make those distinguished people lived in distinguished homes. And that's what we were able to do. I was able to continue everything that my mother did. Everything that I saw when she would come home crying because people weren't getting together, or when she felt like she was being ignored, because there was a lot of that. She constantly felt like she had to fight for everything. And in one point in time, everything was against her. There was an article in the Boston Globe where there were leaders that called her and other folks that were pushing against the city irresponsible. But she said, she was quoted in the Globe and said, I know that we have to fight for what is right. And that is something that I take with me in everything that I do. And that's what you folks are doing right now. You are fighting for what is right. Human services and early education right now in this community, in this city, in this Commonwealth, we are redefining. The Commonwealth, we have established standards. We've adopted curriculum. We've done so much to move away from the term daycare to early childhood education because of you. Because of you. And through ABCD and the trustees of the Urban College, the faculty, the staff, the volunteers, the people that pick up these buildings every single day, that never get recognized either in their pay or anything else. They are all a part of us. So as you move forward and you embark on this next new journey that you will embark upon, because you have this under your belt, and make no mistake about it, you're going to work within the system, either in the school systems, or you're going to work as individual entrepreneurs where you're going to start your own businesses. You might do the family daycare, but there's great examples of how family daycares have turned into large operations and are doing incredible things on a day-to-day basis and making a difference in the lives of children, especially children in poor communities. Ustedes van a hacer la diferencia. You folks are going to make the difference in everything that you do. Use this also, as you heard, to become leaders in your community. Don't let anyone speak for you. Learn to work with others to develop a voice for the community. Whether it's your immigrant community, whether it's your physical community, wherever you feel that you identify with. Why? Because everything is being written around you, and in many cases, not necessarily with you. And you have to engage with your community to make that difference. You can't just take the degree and walk off. You got to keep on coming back, and you got to grab a hand of people, and you have to bring them with you. So it's an honor to be here with you, with my family, my daughters, my wife, Brenda, who she's got to put up with me and my, I talked about drama. We got some drama. You see that little one right there and my other one right there? But those are the three things that keep me so grounded in realizing what is important in life and my family. And as I'm here, I know you will be here and you will have who is most special to you standing next to you when you reach the top of that mountain. Gracias por el honor. Gracias por todo. And go Urban!
Well, is anybody surprised in this hall that he became a state representative after having a mother like he had in all those years? I don't know if he even had an opponent when he first ran it because of his mother. As I mentioned to you before, I had the chance to kind of watch Jeffrey and his family because we were neighbors for several years, and we had a wonderful time. And my wife, Janet, and my daughter, Sarah, are here as well, and they're sitting right next to Jeffrey's family. We were neighbors, and we will remain friends for the rest of our lives. You know, I mentioned to you in my opening remarks how important it was for you to make a difference in the people's lives who will follow you in the seats you're in right now. And to echo what both Maria and Jeffrey just said, it's important that you also play the role as advocate and leader in the communities as well, to make sure these kinds of programs live on long after we're gone, to benefit the thousands of people to follow you. So I want to thank you both for that clear message you gave today. Miki Ekamoto is a Senior Vice President and Practice Expert for Foundations and Grant Making at the U.S. Trust, Bank of America Private Wealth Management. In this capacity, Ms. Ekamoto works with clients and prospective clients to help them identify their philanthropic interests, define giving strategies, and implement the best practices in grant making. Previously, Miki was the Vice President, then Acting President of Associated Grant Makers, a membership organization of foundations, corporate givers, and other key donors in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. But I would suggest that it was her early experience that shaped her perspective, which has led to her remarkable success in philanthropy. For example, Miki was the AmeriCorps National Direct Program Officer at the Corporation for National Community Service and working at the Circle Solutions consulting firm in Vienna, Virginia, where she worked on a wide range of projects that including assessing protocols for busting and cleaning up meth labs, developing procedures for coordinating police, child protective services, and correctional systems when single caretakers of young children were arrested, assessing a national HIV/AIDS prevention and education project, and developing cultural-based drug abuse prevention programs for the Asian American and Pacific Island population. I met Miki in her capacity as account officer of the Balfour Foundation just a few years ago, shortly after I was named president of Urban College in the fall of 2012. Urban College was seeking a major grant from the Balfour Foundation, and the foundation was considering our application. They were considering it at the same time, at the same moment that our credit agency put us on probation, and our finances were at their very best in tough shape. Well, you can imagine, it was a rather interesting conversation with Miki in her office that day. I think I pleaded Urban's case to Miki. In late December of that year, Urban College received a large grant from the Balfour. After I got over my shock and shared joy, I called Miki. I simply asked, why did she advocate when the Urban College had so many challenges before it? Miki's response, quote, "We concluded that Urban College was worth the risk." She said it twice, worth the risk. Because of what you do and who you do it for. In my opinion, that Balfour grant was one of the most critical grants ever received by Urban College in the last 24 years. I would even go as far to say we would not have survived without it. So, Miki, the Urban College family is profoundly grateful for your timely support for and for your faith in the mission of Urban College of Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present to you your 2017 commencement speaker, Ms. Miki Ekamoto.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, Michael always gives too much credit to the Balfour Foundation. The Urban College mission is so important. I truly believe it would have survived, but we were glad to be able to be there at a particular moment. I'd like to start by congratulating the Urban College graduates of 2017. You are phenomenal. I would also like to thank Urban College President Michael Taylor, the deans, faculty, and staff of the college, and the board of directors for this invitation to speak. It is my great privilege and honor to be here today to help you mark and celebrate your graduation, to have the chance to acknowledge this milestone for you and for Urban College. Today I want to talk to you for just a few minutes about this moment in time, this pause in your journey, this intersection, this crossroad at which you now find yourselves. Life as a journey is a well-worn metaphor, but it is so often known and so often used because it is useful, it resonates, it works. However, in the metaphors about the roads that we travel, the journeys that we take, we don't always spend a lot of time talking about the intersections and crossroads, about the points where our lives turn, the times when we pause, uncertain of the road to take, and the moments when we make the decisions that take our lives in wholly unexpected but wonderful directions. In legends from around the world, intersections and crossroads hold power, promise, and danger. In multiple stories, if you stand at the crossroads at just the right time and with just the right wish, the devil or some other powerful figure will appear and grant you that wish, but always in exchange for something you didn't even realize was valuable until you've traded it away. At the crossroads, you must make decisions and bargains very carefully. At all crossroads, we have the chance to move forward. But we must also give up the possibilities of the roads that we don't take. At these intersections, we must choose which horizon we believe holds our dream and our destination. As we strike out after that dream, we must consider what we will carry with us and what we leave behind. We are travelers, students, hungry to learn what is down the next road and what lies ahead. But the journey is not always easy, and in fact, it is often difficult, as you know. Nights are long, days are cold, and because we live in New England, there is always more snow that we want to deal with. But we do continue our journeys, because that is what we do and who we are, because we believe in the promise of that horizon. But pay attention at the crossroads. Learn the lessons of these kinds of moments. As Michael talked about, the journey of this wonderful institution has had its share of defining crossroads moments. You heard from John about its history and some of the changes that it went through. It made a space for itself in a city, in a landscape that some might say were already overcrowded with colleges and universities. But it forged ahead. It faced its moment of uncertainty a few years ago, but President Taylor's and others reached out and asked for help. And you the students, you the faculty and staff, you all responded. And yes, funders came along too, but it was this community that responded, that brought back old students, that recruited new students, that spread the word about the mission and the successes and the promise of Urban College. You stood at that moment in time and said there's a rough road ahead, but at this intersection, we are making the decision and we're moving forward. And I have no doubt that as you continue down this road, you will only grow stronger. My own journey has been literal and metaphoric. I am now living in my 8th city and 3rd country of my life. I was born to American parents in what was then West Germany. My parents were teachers at the Department of Defense school system, and so I lived overseas until I came to the US for college. I've lived in Germany, California, Austria, the whole DC region, and now here. I've had the privilege of traveling widely for business and for pleasure, and feeling that I can call myself a global citizen. But I've also known what it is to feel like a permanent traveler, someone always in transit, like someone who belongs nowhere and everywhere at once. Recently at a large conference, when asked to describe myself in the context of race and inclusion in America, I found myself saying, I stand at intersections. And in that moment, I recognized where I truly belong. I am biracial, bicultural, and I have worked in nonprofits, foundations, global corporations, and the federal government. I'm a member of Generation X, that generation everyone that forgets, that stands between the boomers and the millennials. In my current job, I connect people of wealth with nonprofits and poor communities. I act as a bridge across time, interpreting the wishes of long-dead donors with today's community needs. I understand the risk of the power, I understand the power of the journey and of the decisions that we make, of the risk we take in making decisions that are sometimes based only in our gut instincts. At critical intersections in my life, I have often made a leap of faith, taken often what felt like uncharted directions off the edge of the map of the familiar, but with a desire to learn, to grow, and to keep exploring. There were certainly moments of doubt, of wanting to turn back, But I was fortunate to have good friends and family along the way, and I was stubborn in my belief that I could make it to the next step, to keep moving ahead, to reach the next intersection. I stand at intersections, and I have both the privilege and risk of connecting people from different worlds and cultures. I can act as a bridge for ideas and generations, for money and resources. It is a role that can make you feel very important and even more dangerously self-important. But I try to keep in mind the words of my wise friend Kawila Clark, who said to me once, "If you're going to make yourself a bridge, be prepared to be walked on." A reminder that sometimes I am nothing more than infrastructure, something taken for granted while the important traffic and transactions are happening above. That my story isn't important, but the work is. There's an important lesson here for all of us in that, about changing the world. Sometimes our highest purpose is to be the connector, to help others navigate the crossroads. I know that all of you graduating today here have worked extraordinarily hard to get here, that you have had your share of moments of doubt, the intersections that you hit, wondering if you could write that one more paper, go to one more class, suffer through one more tea ride when the tea was not having a good day. If you really allow yourself, though, you pushed yourself, though, and you got here to today's commencement, and here you are. I hope that you are allowing yourself a moment of pride, gratitude, and joy at what you have accomplished. This is no small thing you have done. You are now college students and college graduates, and I am proud and privileged to be here today to help you celebrate this, to recognize how important you are to the future of this city, this state, and this country. You are the people we have been waiting for. You are the future. You will be the ones launching out into the world now to change it for the better. But before you head out there, I do ask that you stop at this moment. Stop and reflect. You have run, walked, and no doubt sometimes crawled to get where you are. This moment is both a graduation, an ending, as well as a commencement, a beginning. You get to pause and celebrate, but in the morning, or sometime very soon, you'll have to decide which way you will now turn, which road you will pick, what you will do out there in the broader world. You will also make decisions about what you will carry forward from this moment and what you leave behind. As I have made my journey across the years, continents, and jobs, here is what I have learned. As much of success is often defined by what we acquire, cars, job titles, iPhones, houses, I believe that to be a successful person, a good citizen in the truest sense of the world, we must also learn to let go. And I would like to share a little bit about what I have learned. Let go of resentment. Life isn't fair. This is one of life's earliest lessons, but also the one we seem to need to learn over and over. Holding grudges, resenting the capricious way that life will favor one person over another is a heavy weight that will only slow you on your journey. Let go of resentment. Let go of jealousy. There will always be someone who is smarter, faster, and prettier, wealthier than you. But to someone else, you are the fairy tale. Don't forget that to someone else, you are the one that has it all. If you spend time worrying about someone who you believe better than you, that is simply time you could have used to work on learning the next skill, spending time with your family, or curling up with a good book. Let go of jealousy. Let go of hubris. I will never tell you not to take pride in what you do, but hubris says that I and I alone can do this, and I alone made this. You know better. You know that, as Marianne Williamson said, as President Taylor alluded to, there is no they, only us. Now, more than at any time that I can remember, we need to hold fast to this idea. There is only us. Carry your pride. Don't ever forget how far you have come, what you have done and accomplished. Look behind you at this particular crossroads and acknowledge to yourself all the mountains you climbed to get here for today. And carry your anger. Do not descend into blind rage or pointless fury, but be angry when it is called for. Be angry at injustice and take action. Be angry at discrimination, point it out. Carry your anger and use it in useful ways. Carry your learning and wisdom. Urban College has taught you many things. I suspect you have learned even more from your friends, families, classmates, colleagues, and neighbors. Keep on learning and keep your learning and keep adding to it. Never stop seeking out new horizons to conquer on this front. Carry your connections. You have been part of a community here. President Taylor talked about the family that you joined, and he told me great stories of the ways that you have all pulled together. Stories of classmates who bring a sick classmate not only her homework, but soup to help her feel better. Remember this and stay connected. We are in a networked world, and our networks matter. Hold fast to your friends and connections. Carry the people you have met, even if only for a brief while. I grew up on a military base where most people stayed for only 2 to 3 years and then moved on to the next post. I learned early that very little in life is permanent. I learned how to say goodbye at a young age. But in those partings, I also learned resilience and how to take the best of what I learned from those people, their kindness, compassion, how to bake a really great cake, how to create the perfect mixtape, the importance of telling a great story, and to honor what they gave me by practicing what they taught and sharing it with the people that I meet. Carry the light you have received from others and pass it forward. Carry your happiness and share it. There's never too much happiness in this world. So when you are happy, find ways to share it. Look for small, random moments when you can bring unexpected laughter to someone. Share the treasure of your joy. And this is important. Carry your story and share it widely. You each have a great story to tell. You are the sum total of generations of stories, and it is from our stories that we learn to understand each other and the world. You are daughters, sons, mothers, sisters, fathers, brothers, friends, and neighbors. You are dancers, scholars, hard workers, early risers, late sleepers, dog lovers, runners, dreamers, artists, and something the world has never seen before or will again. Share your unique self with the world, and share all of it. We are each of us intersections in our own rights, women of color, women and people of color, men and scholars, friends and workers, dreamers and practical problem solvers. Share your whole self and your whole story and find places and people that will hold and accept it all. And above all else, carry kindness and compassion. We are none of us in this alone, nor can we accomplish all that we should or could on our own. Kindness connects us with each other. It allows us to reach across cultures, experiences, and differences. No matter who you are, you can change someone's life through kindness. And don't forget compassion. In this time, at this crossroads of our bigger society, we must remember the importance of trying to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and having compassion for what they are going through. We must empathize and pause before responding in anger to something we don't understand. Kindness and compassion are light. You can carry a lot of them as you travel to your next destination. These are a few of the things that I have learned on my journey at my crossroads. I know that you will ultimately all make your own lists, find your own ways, and share your own wisdom as you go forward, and I can't wait to hear and see what you do next. You are here. This road has ended and you are graduates. Infinite roads and possibilities now stretch out in front of you. And so I offer you the words of Captain Jack Sparrow. Now, bring me that horizon. Because for you, that horizon is limitless. Thank you and congratulations.
Vicki, I really want to thank you for sharing your thoughtful and compelling story and message to all of us, and for your steadfast support to the Urban College. We had a conversation the other day, and we talked about the risk I spoke about earlier when I introduced Mickey, and she said that she uses Urban College to other foundations and considers and encourages them to take risks on organizations who might be going through some rough water, if you will. And she uses us as saying, well, see, it worked here. So we're delighted that we're looked upon that way. But most importantly, we want to thank you again for your steadfast support to us. Nancy Daniel coming back up here. Nancy.
Every year, the students of the Urban College tell me about the fabulous faculty that we have here. I've been so pleased to be able to hire wonderful, outstanding, amazing people who have been with us. This year, we have selected not the teacher of the year, but the teacher of the decade. This person has affected so many lives. People line up at my door to say, I want to be in that person's class. I heard that person is fabulous. This person has helped us not just as a faculty member, but also in putting together the 10-year self-study that we just went through. It had to have one voice, one person who put together all of the thoughts and wrote it. I was amazed working with this person who, as your instructor, I'm sure you have amazing days every time you've been in his classroom. This year's outstanding faculty member, the faculty member of the decade, is Ken Grout.
Speaker ready. Which decade are we talking about, Nancy?
All of them.
Well, thank you very, very much. President Taylor, Vice President Daniel, deans, administrators, staff of the college, you, Chairman Epp, members of the Board of Trustees, honored and distinguished guests, my wonderful fellow faculty members, students, alumni, family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Ken Grout, as you heard, and I'm both honored and pleased to represent the faculty of the Urban College of Boston to speak briefly with you today. Well, 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 well. Look at you. College graduates. Almost. The Urban College of Boston class of 2017. I hope you already know how proud everybody in this theater is of you. I truly hope you recognize it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you relish it because you deserve to. Really stopping to enjoy a race run, a goal met, a dream realized. You need to do that. We all need to do that because days like today don't come around that often. Completing what we set out to do is a big deal. Moving ourselves forward as people is a big deal. And today you've done both of those things. So celebrate it because today is a big deal. And all these people here, your family, your friends, they're here because they're proud of you. They're here because they love you. But you know me, I got to tell you the truth. They're also here to make sure that you actually finish, that you're really done. They want to make sure you get that certificate and get that degree you've been talking about for so long because they have been waiting. These people here have been waiting for years to sit down at their kitchen table or get onto their bed without having to move your books and your papers and your school stuff. That's right. Don't touch that. You're going to mix it up. That's my school stuff. That's my project. Settle down. They do support you, but they do want their kitchen table back. Now, in the few minutes I have to talk, I decided today to focus on a door. Now, it's a door we all know and a door that most of us came through today. It's the door to 178 Tremont Street. And I truly want you guys, now that you're here at the end of the rainbow with the pot of gold in your sights, I want you to close your eyes and remember the first day you stood outside that door. You stood outside 178 Tremont Street for the first time. Can you picture it? Because there was such a day. I don't know if it was 2, 5, maybe 17 years ago, but there was a day when you stood outside that door for the very first time and you thought to yourselves, has my bus left yet? Because this is crazy, I'm going back home. But you didn't. You didn't go home. You didn't let the fear of what stood on the other side of that unopened door keep you from opening it, from going through it, and from coming back again and again and again. And because you didn't let fear stop you, you didn't let fear make the decision for you, because you kept going into that building's door, you will today be going out of this building's door as college graduates. And I bring that up to remind you not only of how far you've come, but for two other reasons as well. You see, as you've heard today, there will be other doors in front of you, doors with unknown on the other side. There will be doors of opportunity, of promise, doors of question, doors of doubt, doors to new jobs, new relationships, new schools. And Urban College has become a place of great familiarity and great comfort to many of you. And I bring this up to remind you, because I don't want you to forget that there was that day when Urban College was itself the scary beast on the other side of an unopened door. So as the next doors present themselves to you, open them and go on through. I mean, you've already done it once. You can and you will do it again. And the second thing I want you to know about that door, the door to 178 Tremont Street, is that there was a day not so very long ago when some other people stood in front of that door for the first time and thought to themselves, and my bus left yet? Crazy, I'm going home. And one of those people was named Ken. And one of those people was named Allison. James, Phoenix, Anna, Carol, Darnell, Bernadette, Dolores. All of us had fear about encountering you. We have fear as well. Do I really know what I'm doing? What if the students don't like me? Do I have everything I need? Am I really ready to go? What if I don't have what the students need? But we all went through that door as well, and we all stayed because we chose to. And we chose to stay for one reason, and one reason only, and that reason is money. Of course, that reason is all of you. Although we do have to get paid. And who knows, maybe some of you stayed because of some of us. You see, that's how it works. You're sitting here today in part because you encountered all the people on the faculty. But all the people on the faculty are now better professors than they were because they encountered all of you. It's true. No. We are better educators. We are better people. We've learned from all of you. You've helped enliven our passions, you've honored our value, and in so doing, you have made us all simply better. And we thank you for that. So never assume that you are alone in your fear. We all have fear, but remember, please, fear is not about stop. Fear is about breathe. You will have fear, so go ahead, be afraid. But take a breath and do that thing that you're afraid of anyway. You kept going through that door up the street, even though at times fear may have told you not to. And look where you're sitting now. So, in conclusion, that's right, give me that 5 points. I wanted to leave you today with a quote about fear, something that represents what I've been talking about. And there's lots of famous quotes about fear, but they didn't really quite do it. But I did look and I found one. So to you, on behalf of the faculty of what is now your alma mater, it has been a real privilege. And I wanted to share these words of wisdom that come from an unknown source. Quote, "Never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateurs built Noah's Ark. Professionals built the Titanic. You have built your ark, so trust that you have built it well and that it will take you safely to the next stop on your journey. On behalf of all the faculty, thank you."
Every year, the graduates are given certain awards. One of them is the Roberta Norse Memorial Award, named for a longtime faculty and staff member of Urban College. And it's given to a student who exemplifies the qualities of Miss Norse, the things she valued, such as perseverance, effort, and tenacity. The students chosen to receive the Roberta L. Norse Memorial Reward is Paula Izzo Toronto, an Associate of Arts degree candidate in early childhood education. Paula? The Jill Alexander Award for Excellence was established to recognize students who emulate Ms. Alexander's dedication. Ms. Alexander was the first director of the Urban College program that John Drew spoke about earlier. The 2017 recipient of the Jill Alexander Award for Excellence is Sonia Naranjo Solas.
Hello, everybody. I'm kind of nervous, so I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm going to read to you the paper I wrote. Inspiring learning, transforming lives. That's exactly what Urban College did for me. Urban College inspired my learning in a sense where I can say is eye-opening. Urban College as a whole was with me every step of the way, from when I first came to enroll to where I am here, standing today, graduating. Any questions or concerns I had, there was always someone like Nancy or Anna to listen. It felt like family, somewhere that I felt relaxed at. Even times when I wanted to quit and was feeling overwhelmed, there were teachers like Christy or Valda to motivate me to continue. The diversity is astonishing. You had students that were fresh out of high school, or students that haven't stepped foot in the school for years, or students who are new to our country and English was their second language. Overall, the classes were set to accommodate to the needs of each and every student. Although all these great things, teachers made the coursework easy to understand, fun and very interesting. And don't let me forget, they set you up for success. If you don't understand the work, there are these amazing people to help tutor you through every step of the way. Urban College transformed my life in a very unbelievable manner. When I first came to Urban College, I was unemployed and homeless with my son and daughter. Although I was placed in a shelter in Danvers, Mass., I was still able to attend school due to the manageable class schedules, not to mention how affordable the classes are, how kind and caring and warm-hearted all the staff is. Now look at me today. Because of Urban College, I have a full-time job working in the career field I enjoy and love, having a place I can call home where I'm able to provide those essential things for my kids, like food and clothes. Thanks to Urban College, I have a degree to show my kids when they get old. Let them know that there is nothing impossible. Urban College, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for inspiring my learning, transforming my life, not just mine, but my family's.
Thank you, Sonia. The Coard Family Scholar is presented by the family of Robert Coard, founding president of Urban College, to an outstanding student who has demonstrated high academic performance and who has exhibited significant progress in professional development. It is my honor to present the 2017 Coard Family Scholar Award to our top student, Marin Tober, who is graduating with the highest GPA, and we have presented her with her gold honor stole. Marin.
Hello. Good afternoon, fellow Urban College of Boston graduates. You will now witness if I learned anything in my speech communication class with Kenneth Grout. Ken, please start the timer. Thank you. My name is Marin Tober, and I have been a student at Urban College since 2014. Just like you, I will be graduating today. I have also been your student representative to the Board of Trustees, and I have helped Dr. Sandra Copman run the Federal Work-Study program. Looking back, my experience at the college has been kind of a surprise to me, and I have to thank a lot of people for it. There's also a lot to look forward to. As a fellow graduate, I share with you the struggles and challenges it took to overcome to get to this point. But also, I share with you the determination and the tenacity it took to get it done. I share with you the pride and joy of this accomplishment. As your student rep, it is my pleasure to bring you the most heartfelt congratulations on behalf of all current, past, and future students at UCB. In my position as the work-study student coordinator for the last 2 years, I found myself in the situation of helping to establish and run a completely new program at UCB. It gave me new, invaluable skills that I can now use in any upcoming career opportunities. I must say, I'm glad I chose to have started my post-secondary education at UCB. My reasons back then may be the same as yours. UCB is a very small college, seemed to be easy to navigate, not that intimidating, easily accessible with a train, or even walking or using my bike. And they offered the field I wanted to study. I did not expect to graduate with 2 degrees. I did not expect to graduate at the top of my class. I did not expect to get an award or have studied and done work study at UCB. I did not expect to be part of the board of trustees or go to the State House or go to the Women's March with my fellow students. I did not expect for it to be so invigorating, uplifting, and empowering. I expected so much less, but I got so much more. Please bear with me now when I start thanking the people who made this journey possible. First, my family, who has been supporting me for the past 3 years. My husband, Nelson, and my 3 children, Angelo, Ajani, and Prince, as well as all the people at UCB, such as the president, Michael Taylor, thank you, Stephen Lozen, Sandra Kopman, thanks to UCB tutors Louis, Bill, Jack, Dorothy, as well as James, for their round-the-clock availability and help. Thanks to Nancy for her advice, the books, and friendly attitude, patience, and compassion she has for her, or us, her work children. Thanks to Carmen Pineda for her tireless efforts to constantly try to fulfill our needs as UCB students, from tea passes to raffles for restaurant gift cards, movie tickets, theater tickets, student stays at local museums, or even Christmas gifts for our kids. She is always trying to make life easier for us students who, as you know, don't have it easy in the first place. Thanks to all the teachers and professors, which reminds me of Ken. Ken, how am I doing?
Very well.
Oh, thank you. The teachers understand what UCB students have to go through each day to just get to class, never mind getting through class or getting assignments done on time, preferably. They walk the fine line between compassion, fair grading, and equitable teaching. Thank you. I'd like to express my appreciation to all my fellow students who have lent me their ear patiently and listening to my latest escapades, problems, and have helped me getting through it all. Thank you. Now, looking forward, although some of us might be a little older than traditional graduates at other schools, we have all learned new things, and we are all graduating. I ask you to use that new knowledge, that new degree or certificate to make this world a better place, just like other speakers have asked you to be leaders in your community. This can happen one step at a time, one teacher at a time, one human service worker at a time, one student, one class, one lesson, or one job at a time. I tasked you to not just do your job, no, I ask you to make this world more just, more fair, more social, friendlier, more welcoming, and more equitable. It is up to you now, it's in your hands. Thank you.
The Urban College is privileged. I'm sorry? The Urban College is privileged to award a full tuition scholarship to Endicott College in Boston to a student who is pursuing a baccalaureate degree. Dr. Richard Wiley, the president of Endicott College and former chairman of the board of Urban College's trustees, and former chairman, established the Robert Coard Scholarship to Endicott to enable UCB graduates to complete their bachelor's degree at Endicott, Boston. We're pleased to present the 2017 Robert M. Coard Scholarship to Endicott College to Nora Arara.
It started as a dream. With Urban College, it became a reality. I come from a small town in Morocco, and since I ever remember, I wanted to become a teacher. I was always playing the teacher role with kids of my age. It became my obsessive dream. I was one of the few lucky girls in my town to have open-minded parents who value education and who have supported and approved that I attend college in Meknes, a city which is approximately 200 miles away from my hometown, to study English literature. Life happened, and really the vision of my future, fortunately, moved to the United States, started a family, and stayed at home to take care of my children. Since my youngest child began school, I have been volunteering as teacher assistant at the same school where my kids attended their pre-K program. I realized how much I love helping children and watching them learn new things. The idea grew heavy on me, and with my husband's encouragement, that's when I decided to enroll to college. Taking the step to attend Urban College of Boston was basically the blessing I never would have believed could happen to me to recapture my childhood dream. It was the right time to start working on my dream, and Urban College made me feel wasn't alone on my journey. Urban College has provided all the right tools for me to succeed. I have learned so much, and it has opened my eyes and allowed me to see the world from different perspectives. Wonderful people, from teachers to staff, students to tutors. My special thanks to the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Mrs. Nancy Daniel, for her encouragement, guidance, and most importantly, for believing in me all these years. I am also grateful for having such wonderful, supportive husband who has put in so many hours taking care of our children while I am away or busy with my homework. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for him. Since my first day at the college, I knew that studying was not going to be easy, but definitely rewarding. Succeeding at Urban College does take time, dedication, passion, empowerment, vision, and love of what you do. Sacrifices have to be made, but the recompenses will be fulfilling. I am glad that my two children can see me as a role model and what education can mean to their lives. I hope to be an encouragement for others to achieve their goals, not doubt about themselves, and believe they can prosper. I am finally close to completing my Associate of Art degree in Early Childhood Education. Urban College of Boston has changed my life in so many ways. It empowered me and gave me the confidence I needed to join the workforce. I am proudly declaring that I already have 2 job offers lined up as a teacher assistant to choose from. I am finally achieving my dream career of being a teacher and gaining my financial independence. This is just the beginning. I look forward to earning my bachelor's and master's degrees. This achievement, I hope, will create a ripple effect of my future generation. Thank you so much.
On April 28, 2014, Urban College lost an outstanding alum, Maurice Tony Williams. His indomitable spirit and kind, loving ways will be memorialized in an award presented each year at commencement to a student who exemplifies Tony's determination not to let his disability stand in his way. This year's winner is Ardelia Lee Hinton. It's time. Will the Certificate of Achievement recipients please stand? All the students receiving certificates of achievement, please stand. Mr. President, these students have met all the prescribed academic requirements and have been recommended by the faculty and administration and have been approved by the Urban College Board of Trustees, thus are eligible to receive the Certificate of Achievement.
In accordance with the authority conferred by the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, the Urban College of Boston, a two-year college, hereby awards professional certificates to those candidates who, in the judgment of the college, have successfully met all the requirements of completion. Congratulations.
Will the Associate of Arts degree candidates please stand? You go. Mr. President, these students have met all the prescribed academic requirements and have been recommended by the faculty and administration and have been approved by the Urban College Board of Trustees, thus are eligible to receive the Associate of Arts degree.
In accordance with the authority conferred by the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, the Urban College of Boston, a two-year college, hereby awards degrees of Associates of Arts to those candidates who, in the judgment of the college, have successfully met all the requirements for completion. Congratulations.
Graduates, many of you will be receiving more than one certificate of achievement or a diploma. However, you will come forward only once, based on the highest award earned. Graduates, please remain seated until the usher asks that your row stand and come forward. Will the Certificate of Achievement candidates for General Studies, Case Management, and Human Service Administration stand and come forward? Mr. President, it is my pleasant obligation to present to you individual candidates for presentation of the Certificate of Achievement in Human Service Administration. Nayirka Baez. Ana Castillo. Tamika Suggs. Amelia Ilas. Also receiving a Certificate of Achievement in Case Management. Emilia Ortega Ortega, also receiving a Certificate of Achievement in Case Management.
Will the Certificate of Achievement recipients in early childhood education please stand and come forward? Mr. President, it is my placing obligation to present to you individual candidates for presentation of the Certificate of Achievement in Early Childhood Education. Julia Alvarez. Julia, you. Angela Batista.
Wait till they come up, because they're in the wrong order. All right.
Claudia Galindo de Pérez. María García. Naomi. Naomi Gerard. Zaira Guzmán. Silvana Luna Otalvaro. Blanca Martínez. Esterlina Matos Peña. Carmen Moscoso. Anthony Palma Ariaza. Edilma Patino. Laura Pavón. Soneli Peguero. Mercedes Peña. Irma Pérez. Alejandra Rodríguez. Maria Roman. Rosa Ruiz Grijalva. Marukel Sinclair. Dulcelina Tavares. Santa Tejeda Díaz. Cintia Torres Sabanto. Antonia Ventura.
Zhong Meifeng. Will the certificate achievement recipients in bilingual early childhood education please stand and come forward? Mr. President, it's my present obligation to present to you individual candidates for presentation of the certificate of achievement in bilingual early childhood education. Jealous Alves. Bertha Bazzola. Chen Hua. Bartola Nunes. Huang Xubin. Marisol Ospina. Sofia Flanco. Doris Roses. Raisa Reyes. Gabriela Diaz. Tan Youlian.
So we already did a present. Will the Associate of Arts degree candidates in Human Service Administration please come forward? Mr. President, it is my pleasant obligation to present to you individual candidates for presentation of the Associate of Arts degree in Human Service Administration.
Xiomara Aponte. Valencia Burere.
Don't forget to say the whole thing.
No. Shanika Ubert Branch, also receiving certificate in Human Service and Case Management. Joyce Lawrence, also receiving a certificate in Human Services.
Wait.
Okay. Patricia E. Lopez. Anissa K. McKissick. Esther Medina. Germán Miranda. Go ahead. Robert Sullenberger. Also receiving a dual degree in General Studies. Thank you. Ardelia Lee Hinton, also receiving a dual degree in General Studies and a certificate in Human Service Administration. Maren Tober, also receiving a dual degree in General Studies. Cherry Walker. Do I put that?
Wait. Say it again, Sherry Walker.
Sherry Walker.
Okay, just a second. Yeah, Phoenix is here. Well, let me read that. Will the recipients of the Associate of Arts degree in Early Childhood Education please come forward? Mr. President, it's my pleasant obligation to present to you individual candidates for presentation of the Associate of Arts degree in Early Childhood Education. Okay.
Nora Arara. Sonia Naranjo Solas. Paul Agar Akil. Mercy J. Aranda. Ana Mercedes Díaz. Yes. Blanca Ayala. Paula Iso Toronto. Betsaida Barreto.
Forget to read the whole thing.
Betsaida Marisol Batista, also receiving a certificate in early childhood education. Johanny Esther Bobadilla. Kenia Mercedes Cabral Mejía. Alicia de Carmenati. Wendy Shea.
Okay, you didn't read her name.
Agar Demoster. Eliza Demara. Charlene Lynette Dixon. Cherry Lane. Mara Estrada. Zulema G. Flores. Sofia Franco, also receiving a certificate in early childhood education. Elizabeth Ruth Friedman. Emanuela Perez George. Abadi Gebrehiwet. Frank Gomez Estrella. Erica L. Gunter. Brianna Hall. Paula Enriquez. Maritza Hernandez. Taisha Jackson. Judelka Julian. Lisette Kelly Morales.
And I want you to say with high honors.
Okay.
Highest.
Wendy Kong, and she's graduating with the highest honors.
Reina Lemos.
Liang Shufang. Li Zhuowen.
What's her name?
Stephanie Lewis.
Stephanie Lewis. Altagracia Marte. Betty Matos. Shamika Monique Maxwell.
Carla doesn't have her card.
Carla Medina. Takia Michelle Fortman. Jimena Narváez. Leslie Meléndez Polanco. Elizabeth Yvette Noguera.
You want me to change?
Nora y Oliva Vázquez. Angélica M. Ortiz.
This one.
Rosy Joanny Ortiz. Joana Pagona. Felcy Palma. Nadezhda Panchamé. María de Lourdes Monteiro Aquino Pereira Vélez. Sonia Pérez Moreno.
It's not Celia. I think that's... No? Maria something.
It's Maria.
María Rivera Arroyo.
That's the same one. The same one.
Salia Perry. Crismary Francisca Puelo. Levy Ramirez also receiving a certificate in early childhood education. Julissa Reynoso. Mercedes Rivera. Carmen L. Rivera Rivera. Kathy Belacy Robles. Dabeli Rosario. Jesula Rosenberg. Idamis Sánchez Rivera. Marlenis A. Santos.
Tracy Ann.
Tracy Shan. Nelson Ajeri Soto. Rosina Soto Lugo. Argentina Ulloa. Ana E. Vázquez. Carolina Vázquez. Lilian Vega. Cassandra Yoyo.
Yu Jing'ai. Zhou Yemei. 朱建贤、
Julia would like to have a picture taken with her certificate. Okay?
Will the class of 2017 please rise? To signify the certificates and diplomas you have just been awarded, please move your tassel from the right to the left at this time. Exactly. On behalf of the faculty, administration, and staff, and the Board of Trustees, I offer you the college's best wishes and our heartfelt congratulations. Sit down now. It is indeed my pleasure now to introduce to you the Mayor of Boston. Mayor Walsh is approaching his 20th year as an elected public official. He served 16 years in the Massachusetts House of Representatives, representing the 13th Suffolk District, which ranks as one of the most diverse in the Commonwealth. He was sworn in as the 54th Mayor of Boston 3.5 years ago. Throughout those nearly 2 decades of leadership, his priorities have been consistent: a commitment to community, equality, and opportunity. In his role as mayor, he has tackled some of the city's most complex and challenging issues. Let me illustrate just 3 of them: ending chronic veterans' homelessness and getting on a path to ending all chronic homelessness by the end of next year. Launching a $1 billion, that's with a B, 10-year investment in the Boston Public Schools for new school buildings and renovations. Creating the nation's first municipal Office of Recovery Services and a 24-hour 311 recovery hotline. I admire his courage in addressing those vexing issues, along with his countless other priorities of his administration, which, by the way, is the most diverse one in Boston's history. One of the mayor's skills that has had a significant impact on the quality of life in Boston is his ability to build bridges. Let me point out a few of them. The mayor has built bridges between the police and the youth of our city, between the new and the current residents of Boston, between the racial and economic divide of our city, and between developers and the needs of our neighborhoods. As some of you know, the mayor was our commencement speaker in 2015. In many respects, it was his introduction to Urban College and he delivered an eloquent and captivating message about his own challenging journey as a young boy, a young man, and as a student. As a result of that experience here that day, he became an unrelenting supporter of the Urban College's mission. That support manifested itself when the mayor built the bridge in our own neighborhood right here between our current campus at 178 Tremont Street to our soon new-to-be campus at the China Trade Center. It was the mayor's leadership and conviction and partnership which made our new campus a reality. We will celebrate at an official ribbon-cutting ceremony in the fall. We will formally express our deep gratitude to the mayor. Robert Coard, Urban College's creator and first president, dreamed one day that Urban College would have its own campus. Mr. Coard, like the mayor, devoted his life to addressing the tough, complex issues facing Boston's families. So today, at our 22nd commencement of the college Mr. Coard built, the Urban College community would like to present the mayor with the Robert M. Coard Leadership Medal for his extraordinary public service and for his steadfast support for Urban College. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to join Mrs. Donna Coard to present the Mayor of Boston, Martin J. Walsh, with our prestigious Robert M. Coard Leadership Medal.
Let me, first of all, I am so moved and honored that I don't really know what to say. Donna Coard, thank you very much. President Michael Taylor, thank you. Chairman Peter Epp, thank you. John Drew of ABCD, thank you for this incredible honor. I knew Bob Coard. I was a young state representative, and I knew what he meant and what he means to our city, so I am honored today. Today's not about me, though. Today's about you, the graduates. Congratulations to the class of 2017. I know what it's like to be in your shoes in a lot of ways because I didn't graduate college until I was 40 years old. I didn't go when I should have went, and when I was going, I kind of was going, and then I realized I need to get my degree. And I could see that your faces on this stage today, every single one of you, I can see that. I know what that feeling inside is like. And I'll tell you, I graduated at the age of 40. I am now 50. I'm still giddy about when I look at my degree. So you're never gonna stop that. Urban College of Boston means an awful lot to me. Michael Taylor mentioned it. The story of its creation by Bob Coard also means a lot to our city and our country. I came to this graduation a couple of years ago, and I was deeply moved. Urban College's vision encouraged that it took back then for leaders in higher education, didn't think low-income students needed college. That was the feel for it, or deserved college in a lot of ways. A lot of people thought differently than that, and especially a person like Robert Coard. But not everyone knows how to make college work for those who face barriers. Urban College not only had a vision under Bob Coard, it created a reality. And it has updated its reality to fit the needs of students' lives and more lives today. I know how necessary it can be. As I mentioned to you, my own education was interrupted. I started in college when I was supposed to, but I dropped out. My own story was a struggle. I dropped out for a lot of different reasons, and when I dropped out, things happened. I had to figure out my pathway forward like many of you. I got help like many of you, and people entered my life and were inspirational to me. But nothing came easy. And the way that you took it and the way I took it was a day at a time. And people don't understand that sometimes, but it's a day at a time. It's a class at a time. It's a paper at a time. It's a test at a time. It's all of that things. So again, I want to congratulate all of you. I want to congratulate all of you for this great success. I am truly honored and moved to get this recognition today. You have no idea for somebody who's been around for so long. But what even makes it more exciting to me is to watch all your faces. Congratulations. Be proud of your accomplishments. You should be. To the families out there, I know we heard you are proud of these great people and their accomplishments. But again, how about a nice round of applause for the class of 2017? Thank you.
The final award we'll have this afternoon is named after the mayor's parents, John and Mary Walsh. The scholarship we began in 2015, and it was to a graduate of the Urban College who, like the son, Martin Walsh, the mayor of Boston, selflessly gave to the community. This year's winner is an outstanding student, parent, and advocate for the elderly. I present to you Sherry Walker. Stay right there.
I'm going to be real quick because I know that it's me, it's Sherry, and it's holding you from food and party. So first of all, I want to thank Urban College for creating this scholarship in the honor of my parents' name. My parents were immigrants. As we hear, there's a lot of conversation around immigrants today in America, and in some cases it's not a good conversation, but in my house it is a good conversation because I'm proud that my parents are immigrants from another country that are here in the United States. Before I talk about Sherry, I'd be remiss. There's a woman behind me that I have to say just a quick shout out to, and that's Maria Sanchez and her great son Jeffrey, who I served in the House of Representatives with. Congratulations. This young woman behind me received her GED at the Haitian Multicultural Center in Dorchester back in December of 2013. At a time, college was way beyond her reach, or she wasn't thinking about college. But at the request of a member of the central staff, she attended a college fair. There she met the Dean of Students, Carmen Pieta, and enrolled with Avanti Seymour of the Urban College of Boston. With their encouragement, Cherry enrolled in the Urban College in the spring of September 2014 semester. She earned her certificate in Human Services Administration. She continued to receive a case management certificate the following year. Today, she's receiving her Associates of Arts degree in Human Service Administration with honors. She's getting this while raising her son, her teenage son. I'm sure he's here. Teenage boys and teenage girls can be difficult. We'll just leave it at that. But what's also, she's been caring for her son's grandmother, and her son lost his father tragically in 2008. This experience has motivated her to pursue a bachelor degree in human services at UMass Boston, so she become an advocate for the elderly. When asked why she went back to get her GED and then her associate's degree, this is what she said. I want to be a role model for my son. I want him to know that I could do it and that he could do it as well. It's my family's honor to present Sherry with the John and Mary Walsh Scholarship to Sherry of Dorchester.
I want to thank John and Mary Walsh. I want to thank Mayor Walsh. I want to congratulate all of y'all for, graduating. I didn't even believe that I would be standing here 3 years ago, but look at me now. I want to thank Carmen the most because she really helped me out a whole lot because I didn't even think I was even going to make it here last semester. So I really appreciate her for everything she did for me. And I appreciate Urban College. Y'all my second family. I love coming here every day when I come. And I don't have a speech, but thank you. I know that's right. We did it.
Will Pastor Delvia please come back up for the benediction? You did a good job that time.
We're almost done, guys. Let's bow our heads. Loving God, Father, as we seek your will, bless their feet that they may go where you want them to go. Bless their hands that they accomplish your will. Father, grant them the courage of the strong, the wisdom of the age, and the faith that doesn't shrink with challenge. God bless you guys. Amen.
Rebecca, thank you very much. Give me 1 second. Doesn't matter. First, I want to say to all of you, don't stop celebrating the minute you walk out this door, the door that Ken referred to a few minutes ago. Continue to celebrate, not only for a day, for a week, or a month. Continue to celebrate for the rest of your lives. Because I said in my message to you earlier, when you'll think about this particular celebration, you'll get that courage, as Ken referred to open up the next door. I want to thank all of the people who helped us with today's event. I want to thank all the volunteers and the ushers. I want to thank the Boston Police Department for their wonderful escort. I want to thank the Emerson College Police for their assistance as well, and for the Emerson College community for allowing us to use this wonderful, wonderful setting for your commencement. As you leave today, I would ask one question, and one recommendation, and that is, as you get to the door, it's a very small and narrow corridor out there, so when you get to the door to leave, just move as swiftly as you can for the sake of the people behind you. And we're going to be marching out, and also as the graduates will follow us, as the people on the podium will leave, and then I would ask all the rest of you to leave thereafter. Let me check with Nancy to make sure I haven't forgotten anything else, and we can move on from there. Am I doing okay? Are we doing all right? Again, it's been a wonderful, wonderful celebration. I want to thank all of you for your engagement in it. I want to thank all of your friends and family members for joining you today. I want to thank all the people behind me for making this a special moment for you as well. Congratulations. Well done.